Hello friendos and bendos, it's me Z, and shipping is a natural part of fiction and fandom. Relationships are a core element of many stories, and I really can't think of any piece of media that doesn't have a fanbase frothing at the mouth wanting the characters in it to bang. Comic books are definitely no stranger to shipping. Relationship drama has been part of the medium since forever, as a driving force to keep engagement with serialized storytelling. The question of will they, won't they gets people buying issues after all. And when it comes to shipping, Wonder Woman is very interesting, because if you ask Wonder Woman fans, you're most likely to get one of two answers, and when you ask people not so versed in Wonder Woman lore, you're likely to get one of two very different answers. Now, these four ships I'll be talking about aren't the only Wonder Woman ships that exist, but they're the ones with the most online buzz and discussion as to their nature, and I'll be analyzing them and giving my opinions on each one. The first ship we're going to talk about is Wonder Woman's most well-known ship, that is, the ship between her and Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor is by far Wonder Woman's most frequent love interest in canon, as well as in non-canon media. He's as old a character as Wonder Woman herself, appearing all the way back in Wonder Woman's first appearance in Sensation Comics #1. Steve crash landing on Paradise Island is the inciting incident that puts Wonder Woman on her quest to take him back to the world of man, with part of the reason she wants to go being that she's fallen in love with him, and Steve with her. The relationship drama that then transpires in much of these older Wonder Woman comics is the fact that while Wonder Woman loves Steve and Steve loves her, Steve does not know that Diana Prince is Wonder Woman's secret identity. Eventually, right before Crisis on Infinite Earths, to send this era of Wonder Woman off the bang with Reboot, Steve and Diana finally sealed the deal and got married in Wonder Woman's final pre-Crisis issue. Then, after the Crisis, everything changed. Steve's role was altered. While he did still crash land on the island and prompt Diana to go to the world of man, in the post-Crisis continuity, Steve was now a much older man and presented as much more of an older brother type of figure to Diana than a romantic interest. In fact, Steve had much more chemistry with Etta Candy, and the two would end up getting married not too long into post-Crisis. And then not long after that, slowly but surely, Steve and Etta were phased out of the comics in favor of other side characters, only making sparse appearances here and there in the final years of the post-Crisis continuity. Because of the phasing out of Steve, and a seemingly overall lack of interest in romantic subplots, Diana really didn't have any major love interests during this era. She dated a man named Trevor Barnes for a bit, as well as Tom Tresser, aka Nemesis, but none of these relationships stuck. Then came the New 52, where Steve was reintroduced as an important character in Diana's supporting cast, but was upstaged by a certain other romantic partner for Diana that we'll talk about in a sec. It wasn't until Wonder Woman Rebirth where Steve finally became Diana's primary love interest again, and it's remained that way to current day. Now, my thoughts on Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor have changed a lot over the years. I was originally never a big fan of Steve Trevor nor the ship, but as I continue to become more and more well-read in terms of Wonder Woman and turn into a mega fan that I am today, I've come to appreciate the ship quite a bit. Steve is boring, but that's part of his charm. He is this incredibly ordinary man who's incredibly infatuated and devoted to Diana, and she to him. Just the absolute love in their hearts for each other is absolutely adorable. It's not my preferred ship, but I do actually quite like it, and I'm fine with it. Now, a ship I do not like is Wonder Woman and Superman. Shipping Wonder Woman and Superman is nothing new at all. In fact, there have been continuities where they do get together, like Kingdom Come, and they were even in a relationship for a lengthy chunk of time in the New 52. And it's not strange to see why this ship is so popular. One of DC's most popular male superheroes plus its most popular female superhero, they're both incredibly powerful and essentially gods, with Diana actually technically being a god. It's really a no-brainer to think about them fucking, but it just doesn't interest me whatsoever. Not only do the two of them have actual love interests in their own series, who they have much better chemistry with, but putting these two in a relationship honestly just also reduces them to a literal power couple. You're thinking more, oh, these two are popular and strong, so they should date, instead of what actually is meaningful to them as characters. In fact, this was directly brought up in the New 52 as they got together because of their similarities in nature, and not because of any actual legit chemistry. But I'm not a fan of that. Most Wonder Woman fans don't like the ship. It's mostly a ship made by Superman fans, or fans who like both characters on a more surface level, and think they look cute together. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I'm just not into it. Similarly to this pairing is Wonder Woman and Batman. This ship was majorly popularized by the DCAU, with Diana in the Justice League cartoons having a clear crush on Batman. And the appeal of the ship is, again, focused a lot more on both the characters really just being popular, along with the idea of a non-powered hero dating someone as incredibly powerful as Diana. However, this all just falls into the same trappings that Wonder Woman and Superman did. It feels incredibly surface level, and there are other much deeper options for both. And again, this ship is much more popular among Batman fans than it is among Wonder Woman fans. The final ship we're going to talk about today is a much more recent one, but one that has garnered significant popularity within the Wonder Woman fandom, and that's Wonder Woman and Cheetah. Wonder Woman and Cheetah are an iconic rivalry, with her being one of Diana's top candidates for an arch-enemy. The Cheetah we know and love today came about from George Perez's fantastic reinvention of the character through Barbara Ann Minerva, but the ship between Diana and Barbara really took steam with Wonder Woman Rebirth. Greg Rucka changed Barbara's origins to one of Diana's first ever true friends beyond Steve in Man's world, best friends even. That is, until Barbara was cursed to become the Cheetah, and, heightened by her maddened state, she blamed her becoming this way on Diana not saving her. This is the still current origin of the Cheetah, and with it has come lots of shipping. Cheetah toes the line between villain and hero constantly, with this increased personal nature to their rivalry also increasing the will they won't they potential of a true redemption. This is an incredible amount of drama and angst that has fueled many a fan art and fan fiction alike, viewing Cheetah's redemption through a romantic relationship with her and Wonder Woman. Barbara is also canonically a lesbian, and Wonder Woman herself is canonically queer as well, though the only true queer relationship she's been in the main continuity was quite subdued and short-lived. This fact has only heightened the popularity of Wonder Woman and Cheetah though, as it can serve as a representation as well. Overall, this ship is actually my favorite, mostly because of just the amount of potential it has. There's really so much that can be explored through the lens of Diana and Barbara being in a relationship. Themes of redemption and trauma and love triumphing overall. It's really quite interesting, and is incredibly popular among Wonder Woman fans, rivaling the Diana and Steve relationship to a point where there are times in circles in which it feels much more popular, especially with the recent Wonder Woman number 10 by Tom King having a lot of romantic subtext. Nevertheless, that still is just my opinion, friends and bedbos. Tell me what ship out of these ones I mentioned that you prefer, or if you have any in mind that I didn't mention, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments, and I'd appreciate liking and subscribing if you haven't already too. It's been me, Z, and I'll see you next time. Bye.